Hello and welcome to this very special show. The actor who's my guest on this very show is known to be an epitome of talent, or let's say many a talent, someone who's been charming audiences both Indian and international for the last 5 decades and more, someone who never ceases to chase what he believes is perfection. Dr. Kamal Haasan, thank you very much for talking to NDTV.
Thank you, my pleasure.
100 years of Indian cinema is what we're celebrating today, and you yourself have completed more than 5 decades. What has been more exciting? Is it being part of the big screen or sitting in the audience chair, celebrating, criticizing, enjoying movie after movie?
Both. I think one is more self-conscious and tone on all sides when you're creating. But the best place to be is when you're watching the film. You probably understand your movie better when you sit in that chair. The critical analysis is better when you're in the chair than when you're in the sets.
The audience's chair. Yeah. Right. When we talk of Indian cinema today, there has always been this feeling that one can't think beyond Bollywood. Has that changed finally, or is it gradually changing?
It is slowly changing. It won't, because the thing is, that goes to show the immense pioneering spirit and entrepreneurship that North India has. So I think now the dynamics of where the revolution will start has considerably changed.
Do people like yourself and some other big stars, like let's say Malayalam actor Mammootty, somebody like Mr. Mohanlal, have also on stage made it a point that South Indian cinema has never been recognized?
That's also a fault, again, because we have not shown that unity. When I speak about unity, please do not think that I'm talking about Bombay versus South. I'm talking about South versus South. So that's where it comes, that we have not understood that we are one people. That's all changing now, hopefully.
Talking about regional cinema to international cinema, everyone's curious to know what your debut in Hollywood is going to be like.
Even I'm curious.
Yeah.
Because Mr. Osborne and I have been talking about, we had a brainstorming session, a small one, but I told him about 9 stories. He came up with another 5 or 6, and then we honed in on one which he liked.
So it's going to be your story?
Yes, it is. That's what we are right now talking about. And it'll be produced by him in India and directed by me. He says that, I don't know, I'll sit with him and discuss.
So it's going to be your story, you're going to be directing the film, you're obviously going to be acting in the film? All right, your fans would be looking forward to that one for sure.
Yeah,
what about Vishwarupam? You're looking forward to.
Myself.
What about Vishwarupam, sir? Tell us about that.
Vishwarupam is a very interesting film. Apart from that, it's the costliest film I have ever made in my country, which makes it really big in the Tamil film industry.
So is it going to be full of surprises? What is
Yes, that would be.
Like any Kamal movie?
It'll be different from any Kamal movie, and it's entertaining. You could call it a thriller genre, but it goes beyond that also. And it's got the dramatics of Devar Magan. It's got punch of Kurdi Param. It's got the panache of various other films which have been successful.
You've had multiple fractures, and you seem to have the appetite for more. You've done some dangerous stunts in this one?
One thing we proudly say, after the shooting was over for Vishwaroop in Hindi and Vishwarupam in South Indian languages, I'm reiterating because they mispronounce it in North.
One is familiar with that, yes.
Yeah, so Vishwaroop, when we finished that, we suddenly realized that we had 0% accident.
But no compromise on action, you're saying, in Vishwarupam.
This is incredible action, very dangerous action.
Your detractors have accused you of sometimes reusing stories, international, Indian sometimes. Would you agree and say, so what?
Yeah, I would say that Godfather is King Lear. And I have not used in my films. When I write, they have been my stories. What if some director wants to make that? And every other actor, even Nayak and his Godfather, I didn't write it.
There has been a quote by you where you have said that if you were to bow down to anything or any power, that be democracy. Ironic considering this country, a large section of this audience has also accused you of offending religious sentiments, sometimes using...
Part of democracy.
Whenever a scene has led to a controversy, in hindsight, when you go back to bed, have you had introspection? Have you wanted to redo, undo some scenes which have become controversial?
Not scenes, but certain things which I did for a lark, I have changed. I don't smoke in my film, not because Mr. Anbamani Ramdas, my friend, said I shouldn't. I made that decision much before that was passed as a law. I suddenly realized why I started smoking at all when I was young, because it was so beautiful to watch Mr. Shivaji Ganeshan smoke so stylishly. I wanted to imbibe that style, and I smoked for that silly reason.
You often refer to Mr. Shivaji Ganeshan.
Oh, yes.
And you also, of course, have a mentor like Mr. K. Balachandar. Who have you learnt more from?
It's a deep question. I think Mr. Balachandar, Mr. Shanmukam, T.K. Shanmukam, they all actually led me by hand.
Yes.
And then let me walk. Yes. And then saw to it that I did not fall. Yes. They were guarding me. That's personal mentoring. Shivaji Saab did not do it, but it's something that you learn naturally. They were natural teachers. They just left it for everyone to pick up as they want. And it is from Shivaji Saab that I graduated to Dilip Kumar Saab. It is from Dilip Kumar Saab that I graduated to Marlon Brando and the rest of the world. So these two actors will always be the two suns in my horizon. SU1.
Have you at any time consciously emulated Mr. Shivaji Ganeshan on air?
Oh yes, many times. Not consciously,
his style?
Unconsciously. As a matter of fact, I had to consciously fight emulating him.
Let's talk about the Kamal that not too many people know. Apparently, you hated academics. Apparently, you're a high school dropout.
Yes. It's easy to hate academics because there's so much discipline. Nobody teaches science like the way Shivaji teaches acting.
Right. So were you a very bad student at school?
I was good. I decided to be bad, I presume. And I don't know, I was disinterested. And suddenly I wanted to be a critique of the educational system, which I was not qualified to do at that time, but I did, and I walked out.
What is your fascination with makeup?
See, all actors have this thing, right from the time of Shakespeare. I've seen critics say that it's all about makeup, where is the acting? I said, oh, King Lear without the beard doesn't make sense. It's part of giving that illusion. As the technology of capturing images becomes more refined, so should the makeup, which it didn't. As you can see in all the films, some of our greatest actors wore bad wigs, wore makeup that made it look bad. They were like
any of your old looks that you would have looked now and said, oh God, I should have not worn this.
That's how I went into makeup, because I knew I was looking silly. Like? My beard was bad, my wig was bad, many films. So I went to the very place where it was believed to be the Mecca of makeup.
Yes.
And two places, England and America. And literally went 1 month every year for 20 years.
Perhaps dance again is just part of an entire package called The Actor. But Kamal and dance has always been almost synonymous.
I'm sort of a, you could say that I've prematurely quit dancing as a trained dancer, because I learned Bharatanatyam and Kathak. I dropped out of school to facilitate that education, and which meant that I did easily 7 to 8 hours of dancing a day.
Do you watch younger actors who in your opinion is a good dancer?
But there are many. Oh, Prabhudeva. Why? He learned it all by himself. Of course, he learned Bharatanatyam. Had been to his Bharatanatyam Arangetram.
And among the actors, among, let's say, the next generation actors in Tamil cinema, let's say, do you watch their dance?
Most of them dance well now. They're very good. Like Vijay dances well, Surya dances well. Everybody is trying hard and the technique of teaching steps have improved also. So the actors who are earnest, they pick it up fast.
Yeah. Can there be another Kamal Haasan in the industry?
There should be many more. Not exactly, but better perhaps. It should be.
Better?
It will happen.
Right. You believe there are those who are... I remember Rajinikanth saying that many young actors do have more than half his style, the punch dialogues are there, the entry is as dramatic as it would be. You're known as the method actor, the one who thinks. Do you see someone emulating that style?
There are many people, but my consolation or concern, both different aspects of the same recognition of another talent. My consolation is that not all are going to get a Balachandra to help them. So it's going to take time for them. My concern is, why are they not getting it? Why should it be only one man? The kind of contribution that gentleman has made to the Tamil film industry, as far as, let's just take acting, we'll not go into the content part or the path-breaking, horizon-making films that he's made.
Are you saying that the state of script writing is in pittance or bad?
What he has done as a scriptwriter, we'll keep that all aside. We'll just talk about his contribution to the acting community.
Right.
The way he picked up actors, literally from the street. I'm one. And in the first film, I must have spent about 60 days on the set, and I must have been in the film for 10 minutes. But the second film, I got such a pay rise and position. By the third film, I was his hero. I was there in every film for 36 films. This kind of collaboration is something that can't happen to anyone. I'm probably one of the very few heroes who makes films with other actors as the lead people, where I won't be even acting.
It's interesting you say that, because your detractors again would say there is a sense of, sometimes they've been as harsh as saying narcissism, where Kamal believes in doing everything in his film. He wants to be the actor, he wants to be the director, he wants to...
I think my heroes have all been that. Mr. Balachandra, he wrote, he directed, he could even act, but thank goodness he didn't. It will be...
You wouldn't have been
no Rajini, no Kamal, it will be him, but he could have done that. About narcissism, well, any actor who combs his hair for a little longer than he should is a narcissist. He's enjoying himself.
In the recent past, we've seen several statements, both by yourself and Mr. Rajinikanth, who in fact, he in a recent interview said, I'm not a Kamal Haasan, I'm not a Shivaji Ganeshan, so I can't do every role that is given to me. It's only perhaps them who can get into the skin of every particular character. Statements like these, which reflect mutual admiration, both by yourself and by him, after so many years, would you say it is because of maturity, is it diplomacy, or is it really genuine that there's really no level of competition today?
There is a great level of competition. We both will not let go of our stand. I mean, I'm talking for him as well. But the equipoise of understanding each other's positions came about because we came from the same school. So actually, right from the beginning, our egos were blunted by our mentor, yes, who said, you do this best. So it was dinned into us as we were departmentalized psychologically.
It was a wise decision, you would think, in hindsight, where both of you parted ways as co-stars in a sense on the same.
No, that is more than the wisdom. It was very practical, because they were trying to divide one remuneration into two. And they are not asked for more because there is another actor. But when we split, and the success and the credit of it went to each deserving person, our price doubled. This was a practical decision, and it was right. We were, for that moment, businessmen.
Right, more than actors. And when you split by saying that this is your strength, you do that, and my style of acting is method acting.
We didn't even demarcate who will do what.
No.
We decided we will not do films together. The reason being because we were taken advantage of. And it was a decision made by us, and we announced it together without making a big noise about it.
In South Indian cinema, perhaps a lot of people would say, you cannot ignore it. There's entertainment, there's action, there's method acting, there's punch dialogues. But one would say that it perhaps happens only in the South, where heroes who are beyond 50 years of age continue to be the main hero of the plot. And
like, you mean like Clint Eastwood? Or do you mean like Charles Bronson? Or do you mean like Cary Grant? Or any of the...
Anybody in India that you can think of?
No. Many people. Amitabh Bachchan. Actually, Ram Aur Shyam was made when he was 46 or 47. So, as long as we can have the ride, we take the ride. And in my films, at least I don't play college students.
People say you get away by romancing, and when I say you, I mean many stars who are beyond, let's say, 50 years of age would get away by romancing heroines who are half their age.
Oh, I still can do that, even in life. It's not difficult. So if you're emulating life, it is possible. It is possible for people. I mean, Onassis married somebody half his age.
Several awards coming your way. What for you has been the highest moment ever?
Applause, always. And at the right moment, when I had by design get it, or sometimes unexpectedly, it's the biggest and most natural award, because the judgment is not deliberated upon. It just comes instantaneously. That's the most honest award.
Even if there be a sabbatical, which we hope not, let there be no retirement to Dr. Kamal Haasan, the entertainer, the actor.
Oh, well, if that's a wish, you're echoing my mind.
Excellent. Then that's great. That's a good note to end on. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.